Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica, live from Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park as the Titans wrapped up practice team scrimmages today, inter-squad scrimmages in place of the joint practices that were canceled against the New England Patriots ahead of Friday's preseason matchup at Nissan Stadium. Titans making moves at the kicker position earlier this morning, waiving both Trey Wolff and Caleb Shudak and signing veteran kicker Michael Badgley, who spent some time kicking for the team in the 2021 season opener. Around the AFC South, the news out of Indianapolis, the Colts have given All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor permission to seek a trade, per Adam Schefter. Other teams now weighing whether to make an offer to the Colts and what would be fair value for Richardson. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Blake to Mickey 1045 The Zone. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you had a better day than the Titans' previous two kickers.
No, you leg whipped them.
Wolff and Shudak. I've combined them into a power couple. They're Woodak. Woodak is Hoodat because they're gone right now. Both of them are gone. Michael Badgley was out there kicking today. The Money Badger, they call him.
No, that is not what they call it.
The Money Badger.
Is it?
Yeah.
That is not true. Is
Money
that what
Badger. Oh, yeah. Money Badger.
Money Badger?
Money Badger. Former Titan, Money Badger.
Oh, man. God,
It's in the article for Jim Wyatt. He called him that.
Half the kickers in the league play for the Titans.
At some point, if you're a kicker in this league and you didn't play for the Titans, what are you even doing?
Jackson said he told him he could kick, but they said, nah, we're good.
I think Jackson should get a shot at this.
Yeah.
I'm an onside kick specialist.
Well, that was cold as ice right there.
Nice.
He was prepared for that statement.
Well, I'm a pooch kicker. Field goals are, I don't do those. Field goals, that thing is hard. Meanwhile, your man, what do you call him? Money Badger was 7 for 10. Is that good? And he missed from, I know one of them was like 33 or something.
I think he finished 8 for 12. He was 7 for 10 in the field goal period.
Yeah.
Then they ran 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And made a play, I think, down to.
And he split that, didn't he?
No. They ran the 2 minute, had a little bit of a hiccup or two on the drive. Then Tannehill 4 times in a row goes to D-Hop in a 2 minute, which let me tell you something. If you're a Titans fan, this is what you've always dreamed of. Hey, man. This is a really good receiver. I'm just going to keep throwing to him over and over. Mm-hmm. This is the way the NFL is supposed to work.
Oh, it is.
I mean,
until you make me not throw to him.
I'm going to throw to him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he got. We'll get into that. We'll get into D-Hop's day. But reading the Mickey diary here is my woo moment. He hits D-Hop deep.
Oh, I left by then.
And they get the ball spiked. Everybody turns and looks at the clock. 1 second.
And, oh, man, Money Badger came out there.
And he literally missed it so far wide right. He missed the full width of the goalpost to the right.
Oh.
They were like,
so it wasn't like the misses I saw with the 7 to 10. He barely missed. And then the wind was blowing a little bit. You could see the flag. But still, he had to make that, especially the 33
He missed this one so
missed
bad.
And 48. I forgot the other. 44.
He missed this one so bad.
How was it?
Oh, I don't know.
If you were guessing.
Oh, 40-something maybe. Oh, dude, he missed. It was like, oh, man. You could just hear people groan when he kicked it. Because sometimes
everybody
kicked it. Everybody sometimes will just be like, you can just see it's going straight down the middle.
Yeah.
And there's almost no
then
reaction.
They got the little smaller,
Or if it's close, you see people go, oh, like trying to wheel it in.
Uh-huh.
Nobody even tried to wheel it in. Everybody just groaned. It went straight to the right.
Maybe that's why Vrabel said, yeah, we're bringing in other kickers too. We got to have competition.
Vrabel got asked about the kicking situation. I wrote this down. What about, Badgley showing up today? Vrabel said, he's got the next crack at it. We'll take a look at other guys too. Mm-hmm. That was after day one. There's going to be, Blaine, they're going to have 7 more kickers this year. This is 3. This is the third kicker. We're not in the third preseason game. They've had more kickers than games.
This year?
Woodak, which is 2, and now Badgley. He's the third kicker in 2 games.
I could be totally wrong. But how many other kickers have we cut that are it's currently the starting kickers? The Bears guy, Santos.
Greg Joseph, who established his dominance
In Minnesota.
In Minnesota.
That's two. They are the starting kickers.
Okay.
And what Bagley, it was wherever he was at, he was a starter last year, right? Yeah, so that was 3. Dude, what are we doing here?
Was it 2020 when everybody in the league kicked here? Was it 2020? Was that the year
It might have
Jackson?
been because everybody was missing preseason, early season kicks. I think that's when we had Santos. I could be wrong. The guy that's with the Bears. Yeah, he reminds me of Mickey Ryan.
Maybe it was 2021.
Yeah. But, man, what I was getting to is, man, kicking is what have you done for me today? Not lately, just today. Like, I don't think I know his stuff. He just got here. Holder, new snapper, timing, but no player's going to make excuse. Even him, I don't think he was going to make an excuse. Just probably got off the plane and everything else, and then he goes out here and have to kick what you said 14 times or how many every time. Meanwhile,
At least 12.
They were doing it with 2 kickers before that amount of kicking.
Okay.
Dang, man, that's not even a good start.
2019. You ready for this?
I know we had
Ryan Suckup, who then went on to win a Super Bowl somewhere
I
else.
thought they mishandled that whole situation with his injury, whether he got injured, how he got injured. But I'm talking about him coming back. He came back too soon.
All you had to do was give him 2 more weeks. And then,
was
and,
it.
and then
but
he
I
could have
think
been.
they had the deadline of the injury list. They had to, bring him up, or they couldn't bring him up, right? The rules at that time. I think that's what it was. It was a 6-week rule, and then he was going to get to the 6 weeks, and then if not, he had to be out for the entire season.
Then Cairo Santos.
Yeah, Bears.
Greg Joseph, Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Parkey.
Where's he? He's not anywhere.
And Cody Parkey is.
I thought I saw him.
He last kicked for New Orleans in 2021.
Oh.
And then remember Ryan Santoso. And guys, that guy was here for 3 games. He never kicked a kick. He only kicked off. And remember, he didn't make touchbacks. He just kind of kicked it out there. He was a big dude in a football suit, and he kicked.
So you saying that if you had practice, you could have done it?
And he played again for 2 teams in 2021. They all went somewhere else and did something else.
Oh, then we had what's the name? What's the guy from New England?
He showed up later. Goskowski.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Goskowski. I never feel like I'm saying his name right. That was the revolving door year. Yeah, then the next year you had Goskowski. Remember Sam Sloman, Titans legend? He's the guy who made the kick to send them to the playoffs. Sam Sloman.
Just like I said. But then he was no longer.
Oh, no.
He was slow out the door, man.
He played 7 games that year for the Rams and then 1 game for the Titans and made a kick that sent them, that was the playoff clincher. Sam Sloman. Then he never kicked again. God bless him, though, man. Titans legend.
But he never kicked in the NFL again?
Nope, not Sam Sloman. Everybody else did who came through here. Yeah, this is just crazy. I mean, I'm just going from season to season. Then the next year,
So, and with
Randy
that
Bullock
being
and
said-
Michael Badgley.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to add to that. I know you're going to finish, but with all these issues, why don't then we get a for show kicker and pay him halfway decent money, $2-3 million, and then get him, especially the way that you play. You have to have almost a 95% kicker, especially the way games are now. I mean, all the games are so close, and the way, we're going to call it Vrabel ball. Man, I'm not messing around. That's why I kept on saying kicking. It would be an issue if you're going to depend on 2 young kickers to battle out and think that's going to be the answer. Well, and that's where we're at. I don't even think, I wouldn't be shocked if they brought in another kicker and he's the guy. Whoever gets hot when they with the Titans, and then until you're not. I mean, they could be on the roster before the season started and kick 2 or 3 games. They miss a game winner, they liable get cut.
Oh, at this point, would you rule anything out?
And I'm just like, man, I don't know, man. I start questioning like, well, how are the kickers who leave here having success and then sign 2 and 3 year deals? I just don't. I'm not a kicker expert at all, and I have no idea. I'm always asking kickers questions. Like I was really fascinated because I could not kick the ball, and just always seeing a guy with a huge thighs and powerful leg and be 5'4" and be able to just boom the ball. A lot of them say flexibility, concentration, win, let alone, kicking through the uprights, but having days off too to rest your leg and stretching. That's all they really talk about. How you can easily, kick your leg into fatigue. So I know nothing about any of that, so I can't even question. All I do is look at it from the other side then and say, why are we keep going through all these kickers? Like, if I'm up top as a GM or an owner, I'm like, well, why we keep? Oh, because they missed. Well, wait a minute. Are we mishandling how we have our kickers? I mean, they're going to miss sometimes. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have cut them, but I'm just like, when you start going through other kickers, just no different than just like you keep having all these injuries. You start saying, what are we doing? What are we doing as an organization to make the situation better? Sometimes there are nothing. There's nothing to do. Sometimes there is. But I think you start speculating on, maybe we should start doing this. Dude. Like if somebody's just running down your throat the whole entire game, you going to keep running the same defense? Dude, I would just draw up stuff on the sideline and start saying, man, just go. What do we have to lose? They just running down our throats. What do you have to lose? But kicking is a weird deal. But dang, that's a lot of. I bet we've had 10 kickers over the last 5 years.
That's about right.
That's too many.
Well, it was 6 in 1 year.
Especially when we've been an organization, and I'm going to say that had always good kickers. I mean, it started off with Aldell Grekus. Nedney, and, even if when we went veteran, it was Anderson. I mean, we can go down and then, suck up. And then there was some guys in between there, too.
They got it right a lot. And now they did. And now they never
can't get it right.
And now they can't get it right.
Oh, how many years has it been that they can't get it right?
All of them. Basically, since Vrabel's been here.
That's what I wanted you to say. That's what I wanted you to say.
Okay.
Yeah. So are you? That's why I wanted you to say that.
Well, it is what it is.
Right, it is.
Okay.
It could be coincidence, no doubt about it. It could be coincidence. But are we handling the kicker duty mentally the way we should? And when I say that, I am super serious. Now, you can't talk to the kicker like he's a linebacker, he's a DB, a old lineman, wide receiver. I'm going to name every position except quarterback. That is how you're supposed to be talking to your kicker. You can't go say, hey, man, you got to make that. You can't do that. Nope, you type him on the helmet because guess what? You may need that dude at the end of the game. You're going to mess up with his mental psyche. He is not a normal position. You do not talk to him that way. Hey, you going to watch this. I'm going to even do punting. You going to be able to punch the ball today? Huh? Bro, I'm going to shank one day. It's just going to happen. It's almost impossible. You're going to have one bad kick.
I wouldn't say anything to those guys except good job.
At all. Mm-mm.
Good job, man.
Yep. Matter of fact, I'd asked him this, though. How the wind blowing today?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Hey, man, I got to make sure our quarterbacks make sure we throw the ball. Ain't got nothing to do with the quarterback.
Nope.
I am not. All I'm doing is patting on the back. Guess what? The worst thing they're going to see out of me is they miss. I turn my back. I walk the other way. Sure. That's about the worst thing they can do. And they already feel bad. And then I'm going to come back and say, hey, man, we're going to need you next time. Just forget about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's something to that. There's no way that all these freaking kickers cannot be messing with their mental psyche. It is very fragile. I mean, fragile.
Well, the kicker game continues, and again, it wasn't a nice day one for Michael Badgley, the Money Badger, who again was here before. And
Robbie Gold is available?
Yeah, he's 40 years old.
Is he still kick? He was in somebody's camp?
No, he's just available.
But this is his first time available.
Yes,
like this. He kicked. Yeah. Okay. Well,
so Rand literally is like,
he about to run. Call to the phone.
I think the fear for him is
kicking. How much you been kicking?
You know he's been kicking. They can't stop kicking.
Dang.
I think the fear for him is, though, can he kick long field goals? because that's the thing they didn't like about Randy Bullock. Oh, he can't kick a long field goal.
Watch this. He missed from 33, 233s and a 48 today.
Yeah, those aren't long.
Those are long. Those are, you better make those.
Although,
He would have got cut today if he was in the game.
100%. They would have exported him to Canada.
So we about to export to our break.
All right, we will export ourselves to the break when we come back. What caught your attention? I think this kicker thing has caught our attention. We'll continue this discussion if you would like to discuss. 615-737-1045. Also, interesting practice note about Tannehill and D-Hop that I think you guys will like that we can hit on as well. But let's talk some Titans kickers. Let's get further into that. Tom will be up next, and if you want to join him, 615, again, 737-1045.
School's back into session, but there's no sign of cooler temps coming back into session anytime soon. So while your kids are back doing homework, don't make your homework harder than it needs to. All you have to do is just call on Cool Ray's trusted certified technicians to help keep your AC unit working efficiently all throughout the rest of the summer. And this includes no service fee with any repair. And Cool Ray still has industry-leading rebates like $1,250 on brand-new Tempstar home comfort systems. Plus, they boost a lifetime parts and labor warranty on new Tempstar home comfort systems, including $0 in repair costs for the life of your system. And don't forget, Cool Ray isn't just there for your HVAC needs. Schedule your free estimate on two of their most beneficial summer services. One is, make sure your cool airs and ventilation and installation services from Cool Ray. And we all know it's the stormy season, so it's nothing to fear with their whole home generator from Cool Ray's electrical team. So schedule your next visit online at coolray.com. No phone call, no wait, no worries. You pick the date and time that works for you. That's coolray.com.
Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone. Just marching through an afternoon here on Tuesday. The Titans marching through a really hot practice earlier today. I sweated through my pants.
Oh no! I saw you from the suite. I mean,
Yeah,
you know the fan area where I was standing. I saw. Oh dang! That's exactly why I'm not down there. I saw you had the big sweat circle in the middle of your back while you're talking to Marianne, and it's just like, oh man, that's my goal is not to sweat. And if I would have went out there, I would have been sweating bullets. Then I had to feel like I had to go home and take another shower. But you already have a shower here that you come into here at Cumulus, and you just got your own personal shower. Nobody else has one though.
I may as well have showered. My clothes were soaking wet when I got here. I mean, I have the I wear like long sleeves. I have issues
Well, you have
with
to cover up
my white skin.
Yeah, what do you call it? Not duck hat. What do you call those hats you wear?
Bucket
hat. Yeah,
bucket hat.
I always call it duck hat. I don't know why.
Yeah, I look like a tourist every day out there, but that's
You
okay.
got to protect yourself.
I'm protecting myself.
Yeah, I always
before
know
wreck
where you're
myself.
at. But you never have to protect your calves though. They protect themselves.
100%, dude. I got dad calves.
Yeah, well, you got them master big calves where they muscle all over the place.
I mean, like
I saw your
Julius
calves when you was
Chestnut
walking.
and
I
me.
saw them all the way up there to the third level.
And I'm not even trying to flex these rascals.
Yeah.
They just
Oh,
uncoil
they
like
just
that.
happy. Yeah. I saw
Like
you
Julius
standing-
Chestnut was like, man, I wish I had calves like
yeah,
you.
Chestnut, he's in for a battle there with calves.
He's got some, though.
Yeah.
Jacob, Eric, they want to talk about kickers. And
Yeah, please help us out. I should text my man David Akers, who was a kicker there with the Eagles with me. He lives here. He's got his own kicking academy. I mean, there's a lot of different great kickers here. Craig Hendricks.
maybe I bring David Akers over and say, coach up whoever we have.
Oh, man, I don't know. His son, he coached him up over
James
there.
Will
when he
Hoyt,
left.
somebody.
Yeah, Will Hoyt. I mean, there's guys all over the place. It's a different deal, man. Mentally, can't tweak them, man. Oh, man, that you'll be in a world of hurt. And I think that's what happens because then they just go in the tank on this team. Like, what happened? Like, how were you that good? And all of a sudden, dang, it was just a game. Well, dang, guys going to have a bad game. I mean, you may miss one kick. So you say, okay, how do you respond to adversity? Don't talk to them in a meeting like, hey, you got to make this kick. I think they know that.
I'm like you. I agree. I didn't say anything to him.
I'm not saying too much at all.
Nothing.
Besides, great job. We'll get them next time. Because if I keep saying it's gonna be a next time, that means the next time is you going through the door.
Yeah, that's it.
I can't keep supporting you with, hey, my job's on the line, man.
If I knew you like burritos, let's say, I'd be like, hey, man, there's a bunch of burritos in the cafeteria. Go get yourself a couple. That's your favorite, right? See, I know all about you, man. Go have a burrito. If you kick the ball even farther, get some gas.
Help us out. Who got some knowledge on some kickers?
Maybe Jacob does. We'll start with
Jacob?
Jacob. What's up, Jacob?
Yeah,
Thanks for calling.
Hey guys.
Hey.
As a former person from the Niner organization, I think Rand Carthor would have already got Robbie Gold by now, but I think he has too much money for where he's at right now, and being 40 years old, he's asking for too much money. I think they already snatched him up by now. But if you wanted to, you could get Messi from Inter Miami. Maybe you could talk a soccer player to flip over the NFL.
I think he'd be too expensive too.
Yeah, he'd be pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, Messi.
That's a
Nobody's
good one.
got Messi money. He is like he's making more
I
than
bet he could kick
everybody.
field goals easy. He's like, but I'm making 40 mil a year.
40 is what he'd find in his
Y'all gonna
couch
pay
cushions.
me $2 million? Nah, I'll pass.
Eric in Columbia, maybe he's got a solution for kickers. What do you got for us, Eric?
Hey, good afternoon, guys.
You
What's
got
going on?
Yeah, not much.
You're a former
Hey,
kicker.
Blaine, I'm with you, man. I don't know what we're doing here with these kickers. I mean, why we bringing in can't make an extra point Bagley again. So
See, that's what I'm saying. So they knew this when they signed him because they were like, Vrabel, I think he would have said the same thing even though he missed 3 or 4 kicks today. He was like, we're bringing in another kicker too. Yeah, we just got to have competition.
right, yeah. I don't know and understand why we cut Shudak. I thought Shudak was doing pretty good, and then maybe moved Trey Wolf to the practice squad, But, yeah, Shudak I thought was doing really good. He just made that one mistake in Chicago there or whatever. But, I mean, he's learning, I understand it's all performance and everything, but I kind of wish we would have stuck with Shudak. Time to make our own blood with the people that we draft instead of going after these retreads. You know what I mean? So,
What was his? Do you know what his make-miss ratio was before they cut him in preseason?
Shudak?
Yeah.
I don't know, sir.
Okay.
It would be fine to appreciate the phone call,
Thank
Eric,
you, though.
for
I
sure.
was wondering if Eric knew. Mm-hmm.
Jim Wyatt typically has
Oh, he has all the info.
he has all of the kicker. We would just have to go back and look through his practice reports, but he would have it. I will say this. Shudak and Trey Wolf, for the most part, were making the majority of their kicks every day. They really were. I mean, they were making the majority of their kicks in practice.
Right, but what did I say? And that's why people get all enamored about some freaking practice.
Right. Oh, I know.
But he did it in the game.
The caller was trying to think like, okay, like why would they, what about Shudak? But then they get in the game and he kicks one out of bounds, and then Wolf misses a field goal. Then the next game, Wolf on extra point hit the bar and doinked it in. And I think at that point they were like, okay, just get him a plane flight back and then go ahead and get his ticket printed to Lubbock, Texas, because he can go back there.
That's why I said I would have brought in a veteran with a young guy, because the veteran guy can also teach him how to manage through these mental hurdles that kickers go through. Like every kick is critical. I mean, when you start seeing around the league when they move the extra point back, guys starting missing 33-yard extra points or whatever it is, 35 or whatever.
It was totally in their head.
Guys start missing. You go, whoa. And then you see the same guy who's a good kicker. You know he's a good kicker. So you can see that it'll start messing with kickers. That's when I was like, ooh, man, that kicking, boy, it's a mental deal. I would never choose. I'd be a punter if I was going to kick. No way.
You used to like Rod Blankenship, the goggles from Georgia.
Then look, you see they drafted him. The coach cut him, right?
Well, yeah.
After 1 or 2 years?
No, they cut him. And then he was with Arizona at the end of last year. Finished last year.
Preseason with somebody.
Bucks have cut him.
They cut him?
They cut him and kept the guy who had gotten cut when the Colts drafted him. Yes.
No, just kidding.
Seriously, with kickers, it gets like that.
Did he get cut just like yesterday or something?
Yesterday.
I'd bring him in. At this rate, what do you got to lose? But they're going to be like, oh, you're bringing a guy who obviously got cut for a reason. He was missing field goals. So where are you at? Still another young kicker who hasn't had, like I said, I loved him at Georgia. I think I loved him just because he wore goggles. He was the field goal kicker. I did.
He had swag, man. He's rapping and kicking and doing it all.
So you would think he was a little different in his approach to the game, but no, he's still a kicker. So dang it. It's just hard, man. It's golly. Especially when you've had good ones along the way. You just feel like it's just a easy deal. And you try to develop one and get a young one and then put him in your organization and then see how it goes. And then, boom, once they fail, then now you're out here looking. And then there's a reason why the other guys are out there, whether it's age, pay, or just not a lot of experience kicking live game. The pressure to kicking a field goal in a live game is, oh, man. Oh, you got to have some serious nerves out there. You got to be able to control it like that, man. Routine.
People, F&M Bank Chat is full of just bring in Robbie Gold.
I don't know. He's 40. I think the caller was right, though. I think when you get to 40 and the success Robbie Gold's had, he's not $1 million minimum. He's not. I don't think he's going to do it. How long did he kick? He kicked for a minute.
Since 2005. Oh, man. 2005. Yeah. It's 2023.
I don't know. See, Bullock was kind of this mid-level good kicker. Robbie Gold, to me, was on that upper level in kicker. So I bet he can kick 48 and in, and we'll be blessed to be up there looking for ones that have stronger legs. You'll be blessed to make sure you automatic from 48 and in. See, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what the Titans are trying to do. Well, we need a stronger leg now. We need them to be able to kick 52. Okay. Well, how accurate are they going to be? Are you going vet or are you going young? See, this is what happens. And you cut both of them. I might have kept one of them. I might, with the caller, I might have kept Shudak. Just to see if we can manage through this. Hey. You're a kicking expert there, Mickey.
No.
They need a mental coach. I actually think they also need a kicking coach. Like, seriously, man, I don't know why NFL teams don't have a kicking coach.
Why wouldn't you?
I don't understand. I would have me a kicking coach. And guess who I'm talking to? And if I get mad, that's who I'm going to and I want to MF him. I'm not MFing the coach. I mean, the kicker. I can't. He may get some roll my eyes in the back of my head looks or something like, oh, my gosh, or something. Please make this kick. But you cannot.
Seriously, help me understand why in a billion it's not even a billion anymore. We always joke it's a billion. It's a multi-billion-dollar league. It's multi-billion. How in a multi-billion-dollar league could you not bring in a guy and pay him to what's your kicker?
Man. Maybe they do have somebody besides a special team. I don't know. But I actually think they should have him in college. But, especially all the coaches that got running around on staff, especially these Power 5 schools and Division I schools who probably can afford to do that. But, man, I think it's vital. Wow. It's win and lose games now, man. The talent is too close now. It costs you your job as a head coach.
And this
Coaches, period.
And here's the thing. I mean, they had the anomaly year where they scored 31 points a game. What was that, 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Last year they scored 17 and a half.
So you needed that kicker.
And you needed somebody who could hit from 50 or 52 or 53 because those drives are stalling out near midfield.
Yeah, Bullock, boy, he starts out to pull his leg, and then he starts going to the left or the right, trying so hard. Yeah, we had Baronis. Yeah, he was legit. I mean, so that's why it hurts. Is because we've had good kickers for long periods of time, and then now we just can't. We can't buy a break on a good kicker, man. Consistent kicker.
Well, again, you have unlimited resources. You're an NFL team. You have all the money in the world, and it's not working. I mean, it kind of goes back to, you and me having the discussion about Christian Fulton, and everybody's like, "Where's Christian Fulton?" They're like, "Oh, he's working out in Florida with some guy." And it's like, oh, good for him, because it didn't work here. His off seasons here weren't doing the things that yielded him.
People wasn't saying that. I think we were saying, they try something new.
I would have shook his hand and said hey, you're a pro.
Yeah.
Do what gets you ready.
Yeah.
Go to the moon if that's what it takes.
If it didn't work, then you in trouble. If it didn't work, this is just like kick.
If it doesn't work, he's the one who suffers from it.
Right. Yep.
And
it's
if
all
it
your
works,
fault.
and if it works, Blaine, he's worth. What's he worth a year?
No, if
hey,
it man,
works.
what did you do this offseason? If I'm a coach, hey man, what'd you do? Oh, well, who was that trainer? Let me call him and see if I can get anything I can learn from him too. That's what I'd be doing. Shoot, this dude was a renowned trainer. He ain't just go to some dude off the street who claimed to be a trainer. This guy went to school, college, grad school, and now is one of the best in training some of the best athletes in the world. Yeah, he did it right. Trust me.
People are saying Ryan Suckup is a free agent and 36 years old. He's a free agent because the Buccaneers got all these other dudes, Goggles, and the guy Goggles beat out, and for the Colts. And Ryan Suckup.
He only 36? That don't seem that old for a kicker. I wonder what was his ratio numbers last year? I'm asking questions and we don't know the answers to. Man, I'm just
they're
sick,
easily discovered
this
on
was
the,
going to
on
be
the
an
internet
issue
now.
if you thought you were going to depend on some young kickers
Ryan Suckup,
going into camp.
He was 31 of 38 on field goals last year. He was 2 of 7 from 50 plus. He kicked
2 of 7?
2 of 7 from 50 plus. He was 10 of 11 from 20 to 29. He was 7 of 8 from 30 to 39. He was 12 of 12 from 40 to 49. And he was 2 of 7 from 50 plus. And he made 24 of 25 extra points. That's what he did last year. And he played all 17 games.
Watch this. I know you're a great math wizard. What was that percentage on the field goals?
81.6%. It's on here. I didn't have to. Come on.
No, I know you did that.
I put the wizard.
Boo, 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 boo.
No, boo-boo was all. It would be a boo-boo if I tried to guess.
It's 81.6%. Really good for a kicker. Or should he be in the higher bracket? What are you there? I don't even. Man, 80% sounds like, oh, man, you at least.
I think in the modern NFL, you need to be closer to 90%. I mean, I really do.
Got to be 88 or higher.
And I love Suckup, but I think you.
I do too.
I think you got to be.
I think you got that number should be a little higher.
Yeah. I mean, year before he was 83.3. The year before he was 90%.
Yeah, see, they saw the big drop off.
Yeah.
90 to 83, and they go, uh-oh, well, maybe he just had a bad, then maybe he had a bad year. Nope, he come back, and now he's even lower. Nope, I'm not going there.
So for Tennessee, he was 86%, 0.4, 87.5, 91.7, 83.3, and then the next year he was 86.7. So he was high 80s most all the time. And then 2019 is when you just imagine the fan getting splattered with poo. That was what happened there.
Everyone's saying the Stonehouse can just boom field goals too.
It ain't the same thing, people.
Watch this. Stop that. That is a totally different skill set. Oh, no. He may can do it in a sub if an emergency happens in a game and the kicker gets ankle sprain or tries to tackle somebody and hurts his shoulder or something. He could probably do it, but that's not – nah.
This is that.
Yeah, you can do that in college, maybe. That's why you don't see a lot of guys doing that anymore. It's two different skill sets now.
Now, if that was your kid, you'd need to tell your kid, like, pick one and just get great at it. Because you'll never do both in the NFL.
Yep, that's why I'd be like, I'm punting. If I shank it, it's because it was a bad snap.
Oh, yeah. That's, hey, man.
And guess what? It didn't cost you the game. It did not cost you the game.
Nope.
Well, you hope it didn't anyway. It shanked and went 25 yards. Well, hey, he snapped it way over here and messed up my timing.
100%.
So then I had to rush my kick because I saw them coming.
The line didn't account for a guy. I just had to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not see that in film, but I sensed it.
Yeah.
I knew what was coming.
Well, speaking of sense that, I didn't sense Malik Willis doing great in that game either. I felt like he should have played better.
Well,
I'm serious now.
We can get into that, too. We got to get into that. And the phone is ringing off the hook about kicker stuff.
Please help us.
So when we come back, we will continue to talk Titans. We'll continue to talk kickers. We'll do that. Coach Mack set to join us 2:20. So we got plenty of time to talk between now and then. Blaine and Mickey on a Tuesday on 104.5.
Call in for kickers.
Snap into action for this NFL season. Get to it, man, with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. That's because right now, new customers, and maybe that's you, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. How about that? That's $200 in bonus bets, and that's win or lose. If you have been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on all the action. The app is easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, and you can bet player props or spreads or over-unders or anything you want to bet, team wins and losses. It's all there for you. So visit FanDuel.com/Mickey. Kick off the NFL season. Maybe you'll bet the Derrick Henry rushing over. I really like that for myself. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. Got to be 21 and older. Present in Tennessee. First online real money wager. Only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem. Call Tennessee Redline at 1-800-889-9789. Well, your love of talking about kickers is
Stop that, Jackson.
lifting this show higher today. People are just on the line wanting to talk about kickers.
Yeah, I'm fascinated with kicking. Man, dang, I could just wish. Sometimes I dream I wish I could kick. Or even if that would lead me to a soccer player. Most kickers are soccer players. They play soccer at some point.
Oh, Kern was a soccer player.
See?
Yeah, Kern.
Mm-hmm.
Let's lift some of these phone calls up. George in this NAS, he's either a fan of Nas or he's calling from Nashville, right?
Yes, I missed the age.
That's fine. What's up, George? Thank you for calling in. What's going on,
thanks.
George?
I'm not George. I'm talking about George.
Oh,
George,
My name's
Stephanopoulos.
Alex, and I'm talking about he was the best kicking coach in the history of football, George Cafago. And all over Knoxville and Tennessee, there are people going, oh, yeah, because that's all he ever did after he was an All-American for 3 years in a row. All he ever did was coach kicking at UT.
See?
He had to teach somebody how to do that. There were like 3 Colquitt boys that have been professional kickers in NFL. He taught every one of them how to kick. And he did the same thing with both kinds of kicking, punting and kicking it off the tee. And just somebody up there somewhere knows what he taught for 60 years.
Wow.
man.
Look him up on Wikipedia, okay?
Yeah.
We will do.
He was
George
SEC
Cafago.
Player of the Year in 1938.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. See it right here.
That's how you solve the kicker problem. Find out how George Cafago would have done it.
Well, I was going to say,
Okay.
unfortunately, he left us
we
a
had
few
some-
years
some-
ago. But
yeah,
what an
people we
unbelievable
tutored
career.
along the way. Yeah, we even had a kicking coach at Ball State. Yep, one of our punters got drafted there, Brad Maynard.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he but watch this.
long time NFL player.
Yeah, well, for the Bears
Yeah.
mostly. Yeah, he got drafted. He was MAC Player of the Year.
Y'all punted a lot.
We must have. I'd already graduated, but he was there his freshman year, and I saw like, because my roommate was the punter and the kicker, and I was like, I think you're not going to be punting next year.
He was a picker.
I was like, he kicked it out of the stadium. They said, "Oh, okay, hi. You think you kick?" He said, "Oh, I'm gonna point to the stands. I think I kick it over the press box." This is when he was a freshman. I'm so sorry. Like, well, what? You can kick it over the press box? Yeah, he said from right here at the 50 at the logo. I said, "You can't do that." He said, "Boom!" I said, "Oh, okay." So
Out of the stadium.
out of the stadium. I ran home and told my roommate, I said, "I don't think you're gonna be punting no more. You may just concentrate on kicking."
Hey, man, I just saw something that's going to alter your
I was a
career.
punt returner, so that's why I was there with them.
Right.
So I'm just there trying to do extra work, trying to catch punts and stuff. No, this dude, I was like, nah. And then I think he got drafted 3rd round, maybe.
Oh, my gosh.
It was-
People used to do stuff like that.
Yeah. He was drafted. Maybe he was later than that, but it wasn't like he barely got drafted. I don't recall that. You looking him up?
I'll look him up, yeah. In the
look him
meantime, let's
him
look up Larry in Kentucky. Maybe he's got some insight for us on this Titans kicker thing. What's
Help us
going
out,
on?
man. You a kicking expert?
Hey,
We
what's
need
going on,
you.
fellas?
Man, you tell us.
Yeah, I tell you what, like the blueprint to fix the kicking situation has already been laid. No one's thinking outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
In high school here in Kentucky, we have a problem with the kicker. We go poach somebody off the soccer team, right?
Mhm.
So you got the Nashville FC right across the road there. Just go grab somebody up off the bench, one of the bench warmers, man. Bring him in, let him kick away.
Let him get all the kicking he can. Huh?
Yeah. Brad Maynard was a 3rd-round pick.
I caught it, bang!
He punted from 1997 until 2011, until he was 37 years
we
old.
had a kicking coach.
Yeah.
The whole entire time I was there, and he stayed there for a long time. I don't know how long he was there, but he was great. We had a great kicker. I don't know why he never got a shot. The kicker was Kenny Stucker. And yeah, the reason why I can remember, because I'm like, these dudes, I thought he was going to be in the NFL. He never got a shot.
Wow.
He played probably arena and stuff. This dude was automatic. Only thing you could say he was questionable on like a kickoff. He wouldn't kick him through the end zone.
What was his nickname? Did it involve the word mother?
Nope, not Stucker. No, he was Kenny Stucker. He was a great player. His daughters are great soccer players. That's all I got for you, man. Hey, man, I used to ask kickers all kind of questions, man, because it's like fascinating to see you got to kick it through this upright that seems like it's huge, but it's small. It's just like, man, how do you do that?
Oh, that thing starts closing in on you further.
Well, you know, that's what I love about the Titans. They have the smaller goalposts inside the goalpost. So your object, is to kick it between the little goalposts instead of the bigger ones, because then that'll make it so much easier. But, boy, it's like Arena League field goals up there, too.
Mr. Jones in the
Tough job,
F&M
man.
Bank chat, Blaine, he may have solved everybody's problems. He said, find a kicker on YouTube.
Oh, there was a YouTube dude who was fantabulous. I don't know. I thought he was a trick shot artist or something, man.
Remember Alex Tanney, the quarterback? He got found off of YouTube.
Oh, well.
He played like 7-8 years in the NFL. He's like a coach, I think, in the NFL now. Trick shot.
Watch it. Where's Lucas? Honey Mukhtar.
Yeah.
I know Ricky said that. Hey, maybe you want to take the best player or something. Maybe take a guy like, that's on the bench. And turn him
Just a
into
guy with a strong leg who, could easily be swayed from his minimum MLS salary
Right. Yeah.
to the minimum NFL salary,
Like,
which
hey,
I bet
man.
is a greater salary.
Mm-hmm.
Man, people.
OG.
All right, the lines are full.
Ocho Cinco. Yeah, Ocho Cinco can play some soccer now. That's how he learned all his footwork and everything to run routes. People. See, people don't understand some of these dudes' background, man.
All right, I know we're up against it. Brandon says Ocho Cinco. You think he could solve the Titans' kicking problems?
Man, when I just called in and just said that, I was like, man, he had that one kick that he had in preseason years ago, and then he got really big into soccer. So my brain was right there where yours was. So I'm not saying don't take it away from it, but I would definitely put it on the table just to even appease it a little bit.
Okay, we're officially off the rails right now.
Yeah,
we have
that's what we
people
did.
wanting to call Ocho Cinco.
Oh, Ocho Cinco. Well, I was gonna go with Mr. Jones here. It has nothing to do with kicking, but Mr. Jones said I think Will Levis faked an injury to keep from put more bad tape out there. Jackson, help this guy, Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones. Come on, man. Mr. Jones. That's exactly it. You know what I'm
All
talking
right,
about.
we
man.
don't have a thing going on
Mr.
with Mr.
Jones,
Jones, but we do have
kicker.
hour 2 coming up, and we won't talk kickers the whole program. I promise you. But man, it's just a lot of people wanting to talk about this. This is crazy. Coach Mack, about 25 minutes away. Hour number 2 coming up next.
Al Greckers is the golf coach at Stanford. it.
Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone. Happy Tuesday to you. Titans with a blue and white. Oh, that just disappeared. Blue and white scrimmage today because the Patriots disappeared. They didn't want to come here.
They were scared.
It's really hot here.
It was
The
scary.
Titans are physical.
Yeah, I think they were scared of that physicality.
And they didn't come down. So Titans just divided up teams. They played against each other today in practice. That's what they did.
It was fun to watch.
White and blue scrimmage. It was competitive as all get out.
Even out the teams a little bit.
So
All I could do was tell it was just Malik versus Tannehill.
that was it.
That's all I-
And Tannehill got the first team offensive line,
Oh, man.
and Malik didn't. But Malik got Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears. So they kind of split it up. Tannehill got D-Hop. Hey, for all you, we mentioned this off the top of the show. For everybody who's kind of wondering about, man, I wonder what's going to happen with D-Hop here. First of all, he looks like D-Hop. Like what you think he would look like.
He looks exactly what I said he was going to look like. I'm trying to tell you, man.
exactly
This guy's
like
game
that.
travels, man. He can keep doing it. Oh, no. Explain what he does, Mickey. You put it in a nutshell. This is why he's always open. Go.
So you watch NFL receivers, and some of them are crafty. Like their hands don't come up until the ball gets right on them. So DB, the Blaines of the world are like, oh, his hands are coming up. I'm just going to stick my
His
hand
eyes
up.
getting big, uh-huh.
Eyes got big. All the tells.
Yeah.
This dude, when one arm goes up to catch the ball, the other arm is like go gadget arm straight into the DB every time.
For basically a little push to get separation to catch and then his confidence with the one hand, as you mentioned, is fantabulous. But, man, he's always open.
So think about all the times he played the Titans and wore their butts out. And remember how mad you were at the end of the game because you'd be like, he just pushed Malcolm Butler down.
Yeah.
They didn't call it.
And then they
He just pushed Jason McCourty down, whoever. He just pushed him away. It's because they don't call it on him.
I wonder if he learned that from Michael Irvin.
Oh, that will see that. And then
Because when you go in the foot race, you go,
he ain't running. He's not running away
like
from
that.
anybody. No,
Now, D-Hop is probably faster than him for sure.
he's
but-
faster than yes.
Yeah, but it was like, but he did the same thing. He gave you that little nudge push right at the end. You're like, dude, quit pushing. Yep, that's D-Hop, though. He got you. He basically straight on you on while the ball's coming down to his one hand, his Mickey Mouse hand. Because he only need 4 fingers to catch because his hand is so big.
Well, we kind of wondered, like, okay, this guy's career targets per game is 10.
Per game.
10 per game. So just take his games played, multiply that times 10, that's his career target. It's like 9.998. It's literally 10 targets. Well, today, they divided up the teams. Now, they still did some stuff where they split up and the punt gunners gunned and the kickoff guys caught kickoffs. They still did some of that, but mostly they just had team and they just went at each other. Now, they didn't tackle to the ground or they still practice how they practice, but it was super, super competitive.
Yeah.
You know who got 10 targets today? He got 10 targets.
The kicker.
He did not because they got a new kicker. We'll get to that. By the way, the phones have rung off the hook if you missed the first hour.
Oh, man.
People are into this whole kicker thing.
D-Hop is special. But I don't know what we'd be doing right now if D-Hop was on the team with Burks out. I'm serious now.
Oh, no.
There was parts of time I'm like, okay, he's going to throw the D-Hop. And he did. I was like, where's everybody else?
In 2 minutes, at one point, he threw to him 4 times in a row.
Oh, like jacket. Hey, man. Hey, if you're another receiver, you give us like, hey, man, I was open on that play, Tanny. They say, I know, but D-Hop's open every play.
He's never not open. I'm going to throw it to him. Yeah.
And that's what I want Tannehill to do.
So they were kind of stuck, and they weren't in field goal range. And this was on 3 times in a row to D-Hop. They were around midfield. So he hit him deep enough to get him into field goal range, runs down there, clocks at 1 second left. By the way, they cut both of the kickers. So Wolf and Shudak, who have just combined into one person, Wudak, gone. The power couple of kickers, big and little, both gone. So then they brought in Michael Badgley, again, the money badger, who was here 2 years ago for a game, and I think hit 1 of 3 kicks in the game.
And they said, bye-bye, sayonara.
Yeah, like I think he missed a field goal and an extra point and then hit 1 extra point, and then he was off. I used to say this all the time. There's an island where all the kickers live. I truly believe this.
And that's where they be kicking on.
Yeah, like Rod Blankenship is on that island again now because he's available. You go to this island and then you just kick all day, and like they have pictures of kickers past, and you just meditate on those, and then you go out to the field and kick on Kicker Island. So Michael Badgley was sent back to Kicker Island because he just got cut by the Buccaneers, I guess. No, Rod Blankenship got cut by the Buccaneers. Badgley got cut by, I think, the Command Skins. There's so many kickers getting cut right now. The traffic back and forth between the island, it's like on the Thor movies where they have the rainbow, the Bifrost thing, and you just get in it and it carries you back and forth to the NFL. So today, Michael Badgley was the kicker, and Wudak were gone because everybody came out there and was like, wait a second, that's not Shudak in number 6. It just happened like that.
I'm going to text you like, dang, the kicker's here already?
He's already here.
I saw him warming up. I was like, he about to kick. I want to see how good he is.
He was like 8 of 12 today. He was 7 of 10 in a field goal period. The one that got down to 1 second where D-Hop caught the ball and they get down there. He missed that by like the width of the goalpost to the right. Mm-hmm. Like take a goalpost and put a whole nother goalpost over, and it might have snuck in.
You said it was how far? 40?
I would just guess around 40. I need to go back and look at somebody's notes who may have caught how far it was. I was on the other end of the field.
I know he missed a 33-yarder. I was not happy about that.
So, Jameson asked in the F&M Bank chat, do you feel like kickers are much worse now than they used to be? No, and here's why. Blaine and me are old enough to remember, and me older than you, of course. Like in the 70s, kickers were like 50%.
Oh, right.
They're like 50%.
Yeah.
And they were all like ex-soccer players, and a lot of them had never – there were a bunch of dudes who kicked in the NFL who necessarily had never played football in their life. The NFL was so desperate to find guys who could make more than half their kicks. There were soccer players and guys from other countries and all sorts of stuff. Like guys who'd never seen football games then became kickers in the NFL. You can look up crappy kickers of the 70s and 80s. But right now, I mean, you need to be – we got into this earlier. You need to be like high 80s% on field goals. I mean, you need to be north of 86, 87, 88, 89, 90%.
Yeah, he was 44 yards on that 2 minute.
Okay.
So he missed from 33, 43, 48, and 44.
Okay. And the 44, it didn't have a prayer.
Well, in the meantime, Colton Dow had a good day. He caught a deep ball, didn't he?
He did.
That was him. Yep. And McMath did took a deep ball touchdown, both of them.
Yep. McMath caught his from Farley. Colton Dow caught his
from Farley.
Also from Willis. Sorry. Yeah.
Farley had a horrific deal at his.
Yeah. Sorry,
home.
people. There are people who are saying stuff about Farley. Side note today, yes, Caleb Farley, who has had so much tragedy in his life, he was not at practice today. He owns a home in North Carolina. The house exploded, and his father reportedly was in the house and was killed in this incident today. So he wasn't there. So Mike Grable talked about it. Several of the players did, but
that's what they were praying at after practice.
This dude has had so much bad luck in his life, multiple injuries. He lost his mother at a young age.
So prayers up to him and his family there. That's tough sledding.
For sure. But yes, I didn't mean to say him. Malik Willis threw the long pass to Dowell, and he threw the long pass to Racy McMath as well. But here's the thing. There was no Will Levis today. He didn't practice.
Oh, he did throw, by the way, for all you Will Levis fans or haters. He did throw some outs and, on the free time when they were down, I guess maybe doing some, special teams time. But he deep balls too, by the way, 40, 50 yards from go routes to the trainers, by the way, and outs and everything else. And I don't know, he got some form of a quad injury, looks like, but he looked even better today than he did throwing on game day.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean he'll play or practice here in the next 2 or 3 days, but he definitely looked improved on his movement. Still probably just did some little strain that they said, hey, just chill out. And I don't know. Vrabel didn't seem like it was something he was worried about. Like they need to sign a
No,
quarterback.
if they were worried, they would have signed a quarterback, 100%.
I don't think so.
Because you could have cut one of those kickers and signed a quarterback. That would have given you your 90th roster
Well, they
spot.
still have one more spot.
Well, they've cut 2 kickers today and signed one back. Although yesterday they brought back Trayvon Coley, who's a defensive lineman.
So are they up to the limit?
Who had been here. There's so many people coming and going right now. I'm not sure. But Coley had been here a couple of years ago as well, played in, I guess, a handful of games, Trayvon Coley. So they continue to kind of chum the defensive line and really anywhere that they can. But
also, Phillips, we had a report there.
Yeah, PK, Paul Kaharski reporting MCL injury, range of 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's probably MCL sprain. Yeah, 4 to 6.
Kieris Jackson also got hurt. He didn't practice. I didn't see him today.
Maybe that's who I saw kind of jogging with a limp with a sleeve on his leg. I'm not sure if that was him, though.
So Dow, everybody else, that gives them more opportunities. And honestly, a bunch of the guys who've been making plays, like I don't remember writing down Reggie Roberson or Trayshawn
Holmes.
There's Gavin Holmes. I don't remember writing down their names.
Not today. No. Trying to go back through the memory banks. Now it was all D-Hop, Dow. It's even on different sides of the ball.
Chig got some targets because he always does.
Yeah, Chig made some nice catches today. Got to give him props there. Defense, I would say, won the day though. On both sides, even though they try to evenly distribute the talent, it seemed as though, it still felt like the defense.
Oh no!
Better. Even though they gave up some deep balls, I just felt like the defense, man, jeez.
Shy Carter had 2 PBUs and 3 plays at one point. Anthony Kendall, who Vrabel keeps talking about, he had a PBU. Roger McCreary had 2, one on a long play to D-Hop.
Marsh and your man Garrier had sacks.
Both of them had a sack. Marsh and Garrett both had a sack today from the slot. Arden Key had 2 more sacks, 2 by my unofficial count.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
Might have had 3. There was another play where he was just standing in the backfield next to T.R. Tart.
And he was on the opposite team as Autry and Simmons. Yeah, because they were, and Landry were all on the same team. I think the offensive line, the starters were all on one team.
Yeah, they were all with Tannehill on the white team. Yeah, he got the starting O-line. All right, we've been talking about practice and kickers. Coach Mack, we need to get with him, talk to him about what's going on. And Coach Mack has one of the wildest kicker stories you've ever heard. Maybe we could even lead with that. We'll have some story time, some Titans talk with Coach Mack next on Blaine and Mickey. We've been having a lot of talk about the Titans kickers today, right? It's 2023. There are good kickers out there. How do you not find a kicker? Well, it's also 2023 for you. And if you're dealing with hair loss, why in the world would you continue to deal with it? Like, seriously, nobody looks in the mirror and goes, all right, thank goodness, I'm finally losing all this hair. Woo! Man, it was just so hot with all this hair. My hat didn't fit very well. Look, come on, man. Come on, ladies. You want your hair back. You want to keep what you've got. You want to get back what you've lost. Stop doing nothing and do the thing. Call We Grow Hair, the only company in the state of Tennessee to have PAI's multi-unit hair grafting procedure, right? PAI, We Grow Hair, WeGrowHair.com. That's the website. Just go there now. If you're losing your hair, go to WeGrowHair.com. Look at real people and real results, and then call them, and you can do a free consultation. And they're like coaches. They'll give you a game plan for hair. It's 2023. There's no reason to lose the hair game anymore. Start winning with permanent, natural results from the company you can trust, PAI Medical Group, WeGrowHair.com. Don't wait. Call today, 615-376-6010. Afternoon, that only means one thing. That means the return of the – well, when you hear this music, you don't even have to be introduced when you're Coach Mack because people know it's the return of the Mack Attack. Brought to you by Two Rivers Ford, Middle Tennessee's most trusted local Ford dealership for 40 years. Coach Mack, you can absolutely trust Two Rivers Ford, but why is it that people have so much trouble finding a kicker they can trust?
Well, I can trust Two Rivers. In fact, I'm up here at the facility now. They're coming with their express service to pick up my vehicle and go service it and drop off a vehicle and bring it back. Two Rivers Ford is outstanding, guys. I know good from bad in this league. I'm happy to be on the Two Rivers Ford team. So anyway, yeah, you need a kicker that can put it to the two yellow things. That's what you need.
Well, they're still trying, and they got rid of two and brought in another one. He had a rough go of it today.
Man.
And, you know, we were just kind of getting into some kicker talk, and everybody wanted to talk about kickers and kicker coaching. And, well, I said, if I'm not mistaken, I think Coach Mack had a kicker who could kick, but he celebrated himself out of the league. Wasn't that a real thing that happened with you?
Tell him his name, Mickey.
It was Bill.
Tell him their name.
Bill Grammatica.
Yeah. So I don't want to disparage the Grammatica family, which was a great kicking family, but you did. Okay, so here we go.
So here we go, right?
Yeah, so here we go. We drafted him out of South Florida in the 4th round. Big leg, not a big guy, but a big leg. And I mean, he was a worthwhile kicker. Of course, Billy, and then his brother that kicked for Tampa Bay. Those dudes were legitimate kickers. We're still in the NFC East, and so we go up to play the New York Giants in old Met Stadium, right? We go to play the Giants up there in the old stadium where they have the doors that they used to open up to blow the wind back through the tunnel. I mean, that's a true story. So anyway, we're up there. Jim Fossil is the head coach of the Giants. He and I were offensive and defensive coordinators at the Cardinals together. Then he left and got the Giants job. Then I got the Cardinals head job. So we're going head to head, and plus it's a division game. And we go down and we're kicking against the wind into the doors that are open at the other end of the stadium. And Grammatica in the first quarter it's going to be a tight ball game because we're both pretty decent defensive teams. And Grammatica just drills one into that open area against the wind. It goes through. Well, just like they do in soccer, I mean, he jumped up straight. He's a great soccer player, too. He jumped straight up in the air, celebrating it, and came back down. And now I'm on the sideline, and I'm getting ready, for the kickoff. So I'm not watching all the rest of this. And our trainer, Johnny Omahundro, who was with the club for 45 years, comes over to me, and Johnny O says, Coach Mack, your kicker hurt himself after the kick. And I said, what? I said, hurt himself. I said, who hit him? He said, nobody hit him. I said, well, what's wrong with him? He said, I think he tore his ACL. And I said, say that again. And so I go over there, and he's sitting over there on the bench, and he's crying. And I said, hey, Billy, what did you do? Coach, I'm just so – I looked at him. I turned around because I was trying to maintain my Coach Mack composure. So I walk up to Hank Kuhlman, who's my special teams coach. I said, Hank, you realize that our kicker over there blew his ACL. He's just shaking his head. He said, I know. I said, who's our next kicker? He said, well, about that time, Pat Tillman comes screaming down the sideline. Man, just running. I can kick. And so I'm standing there, and I said, wait a minute. I said, Hank, can Pat kick? And Pat looks at me and said, I can't say the words he said to me. He said, Coach Mack, I said I could kick. And I said, all right, go kick. Well, Pat was a straight-ahead kicker. One of those, if they let him tie up his shoe, he'd have tied up his shoe. So he runs out there, and he's a straight-ahead kicker. So he kicks off, and, we go cover it. And so the rest of the game, it's a close game. And then Grammatica comes to me and says, Coach, I think maybe I could make an extra point. Now, that's before they move the extra points back, right? So they put him over there in the net, and he tries it, and then he's all wobbly on the leg like a broken chair leg. And I said, sit back down. I said, if we score, we'll just go for 2. And so we got beat by 3. How do you think I felt?
Oh my gosh, Coach Mack.
And then stop. No, wait.
No.
Then we've got a shoe carnival on Monday to try to get a kicker. So I bring in this kicker from an HBCU school, Oglethorpe, and he's out there kicking. He went with about 5 guys, and he wins the kicking competition on Monday. So I said, all right, let's sign him. And, and said, you sure you want to sign? I said, yeah, he's made all of these kicks. I said, let's sign him. So we sign him. So Wednesday we go out, and in the period between offense and defense, we have our first special teams period. Now the whole team's standing around watching. Aeneas Williams, my Hall of Fame corner, standing there, said, Coach Mack, can this guy kick? I said, Nicky, you think I'd bring somebody in here that couldn't kick? I said, he kicked. He said, okay, let's see. I promise you, the first kick that he made, we had 3 fields. He was on the middle field. The equipment shed was over to his left, on the left field, about 40 yards. First kick, he hooked so bad it bounced off the roof of the shed. Bounced off the roof of the shed. Aeneas Williams looks at me and went, "That's the best we got, Coach." I went, "Aeneas, that's the best we got." Now go to the game at the end of the week. We're going to play Carolina in Carolina. Comes down to the winning kick at the end of a 40-yard field goal. Trot my man Thorpe out there. We trot him out there. Everybody's holding hands like they do in college. We hold the hands on the sideline. Drills it right through. Game winner. Everybody carries him off the field. Everybody's cheering. We go in. I give him the game ball, and then we cut him on Monday.
I think something like that similar happened to Aaron Elling here one time.
You wanted a kicking story. You got it.
Oh, my gosh. It's always story time with Coach Mack, who joins us this time every week and always has an answer when we ask for a story.
Well, man. Well, Coach, since we're talking about kickers, this is the last question about kickers. Like, how do you handle when you're in the head coach's shoe, the kicker? Like when he misses one, when he makes one, you just don't even say nothing at all, right?
Blaine.
That's what I said. I couldn't be talking to no kickers. I have a kicking coach.
I'd talk to a kicker. I'd meet him, say congratulations, just put it between the yellow things, and then when it started going sideways, I had nothing to offer him. I mean, I'm an expert on a lot in football, not kickers. I just left him alone. I left him alone. Like I could talk to any other position, say, hey, we need to do this, do that. They're like professional golfers, guys, and you guys have seen professional golfers spray the thing all over the course during a tournament, and you're wondering, these guys are the best in the world. They're on a tour. How do they do it? It's a swing, it's a groove, it's a feel, and they all get sooner or later. They all get inside their head at some point. They all get inside their own head at some point. So I'm just telling you, as an assistant head coach, and of course as a head coach, I never ever. I let other people handle them. I always was an encourager, but and I just tell them, there's nothing else I can tell you. Those 2 yellow things, kick it between it. That's all I want.
Right. That's all we want is the results, right? Coach, that's what I say. I'd stay away from that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So but you got to have one, and this team's going to need one clearly because. We keep everybody healthy. This is going to be a very competitive team, but you guys know as well as I do, in this league, once you cross the 50 and start moving, you need to be able to have at least, a chance to kick at points. You really do. So, they'll find one, but as I said, I've been through it, guys. I just gave you one story, and I would challenge any former head coach to top that kicker story.
Tough job figuring out a kicker. But we're on with Coach Mack giving us the Mack attack. Okay, let's go back to the Minnesota game. You were there, even for the weeks of practice. Sure. What were your thoughts on Malik Willis, not just even in game, but also there, practicing with the Vikings?
He's taken so many steps. He's still got steps to take. I thought being able to, I didn't, the fact that Levis was hurt and couldn't play, that's not what I was looking for. But I was happy that Malik got the whole game because, he knew it, and he knew it the whole week that he was going to have the whole game. He was good during practices. There's still going to be mistakes mechanically. There's going to be mistakes decision-wise, and there was in the game. The one crosser that he missed to NWI, he aimed the ball instead of throwing it. Instead of just going through natural motions, he aimed the ball, pulled the string on it, like Vrabel said, and then the one that he threw the interception, Blaine, they were in cover 2, and as well as I do, you've played that slot dropper in cover 2. What the linebacker did a great job. First of all, he got depth, but he passed the deep. It was a double layer crosser. He passed the deep crosser over to the other side, but then he had his back turned. Then he flipped back around. to get underneath the second one. And so basically he baited, and when he had his back turned and Malik knew that he couldn't hit the top crosser, then he made up his mind and he fired it to that second crosser. And then the linebacker flipped back around and made a good play on it. Now, Malik will learn from that. He will learn from that of either letting the crosser continue to come across, or if the time's running out, take the check down. Because if that backer and that slot dropper is dropping like that, and in cover two, if you got your middle runner already running down the middle, the check down's wide open with nobody to come get him. Okay, so learning lesson.
Any other observations just in totality of the Vikings game?
Yeah, again, I don't disparage other people's teams, but I do think that I know enough about what's going on after all the years I've done this, is that it looked to me like the Titans, regardless of which level of players were out there, at the end of the game were physically wearing out Minnesota. They were physically finally started imposing their will on Minnesota, which is a mindset. It's a mindset of Mike Vrabel's teams. It always has been, but you could see it especially starting from the third quarter on. I mean, they just started imposing their will on them. And then, he had a couple of running backs make some really, really nice runs, but they were getting legitimate push up to the second level. And then, and they were doing a nice job. The receivers were doing a nice job, too, of coming down and collapsing the edges. But I thought my biggest observation was, first of all, it was a very physical game because you had 2 days of very physical practices, before we had the day off, to walk through and then go into the game. But I thought physically that the Titans imposed their will on Minnesota as that game wore on.
Definitely could see that, and you were there throughout the week. I think that's more to the story why we're not scrimmaging the Patriots, but what do I know? That's all speculation.
Well, here's the thing, and again, things sometimes, Blaine, work out like they're supposed to, because that was 2 very physical days of work, and it was a very physical game. Now, and of course you had the unfortunate incident that happened with New England, in their ball game, and so they're the ones that said, hey, you know what? And plus, they were in Green Bay, and they had planned to travel from Green Bay down here, so basically they're on the road for 2 weeks, right? And so, all of those circumstances culminated in the fact that, Bill Belichick called Mike Vrabel, said, I just don't think we're coming. And he said, that's fine. Now, you look at, you transfer to today, and you really start looking at, first of all, we've got a heat dome over the place. It's going to be here for 4 days. It's just, it's really hot today. You guys know, you were there. It was really hot today. But if another team had come in here, that they would ramp it up again. And so I think that it worked out to everybody's benefit.
Well, it's been, I guess, lastly for me, because I'm conflicted here with the number one offensive line versus, I'm going to say this, the majority of the defensive number 2s for the Vikings. It wasn't all number 2s, but what do you see or don't see with this group? And I watched the game like 3 different times. It's the first unit of offensive linemen. And are there anything that concerns you that you were impressed with, or just kind of give us your overview of the starting group of offensive linemen?
Well, I didn't think the first series went very good for them. The first series was not very good for them. I think they got their footing about the third series, and then and started moving the pile pretty well. And then plus, we've got a very athletic left guard that plays. You can see they're running more power O's, pulling that left guard now down, and using him to swab the hole out. And then I really thought the second and third units, again, we talked about imposing their will. They started coming together a little bit good too. But you talked about the first unit. I think the first unit is still a group in progress, but I think we're seeing the wisdom of keeping that center guard triangle together, like Mike Vrabel and his coaches decided to do, and keep the left tackle in place and just work the right tackle and continue to work the right tackle. So they've had this same group working together now throughout training camp, because they knew, prior to training camp of the the NPF situation. So I think they're a work in progress, but I see some promise in what they're doing. And plus, guys, there are other weapons now, and I think you can see just a little smidgen of a look at what Kelly's going to do as far as layering calls, moving people around, using different personnel groups. I think we're just getting a little bit of a taste of that. But as you start looking at that, he's going to have some offensive weapons that he can spread it around. So if we can just get an adequate cylinder and then just get a little push on the edge and keep that center guard triangle strong when we need to run it, I think we're going to be okay there.
There you have it. Coach Mack giving us the Mack attack.
So, Coach, just missing the 2 days of practice against the Patriots, does that maybe change who might or might not play in this final game because of the work maybe they didn't get against New England, good on good?
Mm-hmm.
It might, maybe it can, but I don't think it will be any major. I mean, I don't think it makes any difference as to what some of the players will play. It might a little bit if you're really wanting to see somebody for a couple of series. The thing that I always look at, and look, you saw. Did you guys watch the Washington game last night?
Part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you saw McLaren get hurt, right?
Yes.
I mean, so all of a sudden, if you put them out there, if you put them out there, between the lines, guys, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. And so as a coach and as a staff and as an organization, you make the decision, is it worth seeing them in 3 or 4 or 5 plays and maybe taking a chance? Because I don't have to tell you, Blaine, what's going on out there, but for our listeners, it is high-speed collisions. And injuries don't happen on purpose. But with the speed that everything's going out there and as competitive as it is, so you've got to make that decision. But I don't think overall, collectively, it would make a big difference as to who would play in this game coming up as who would not, Mickey.
I know there's 90 people on a team right now. There's going to be 53 when it's all said and done on the roster. How many actual spots do you think are up for grabs right now?
About 4. Normally on a team, unless you're really, really struggling, it's normally 4 to 6.
Yeah.
It's normally 4 to 6 on any team, especially the way things always work out, with free agency and then you have all the OTAs to go through. 4 to 6. If you've got any more than that, well, then you're really thin or you're really reaching, at a lot of places. And the other thing is I mean, I think everybody's mindset needs to change a little bit, guys, when you're talking about putting a roster together. Mm-hmm. Those practice squad guys are important too. Yeah. Not only the guys that you have now, but I promise you, this pro personnel department has been scouring the league, looking at guys that they're very familiar with, that they, maybe would have liked to have gotten their hands on early, that, because they couldn't, because of the Wild West show that free agency is after the draft. And so your practice squad, as you put it together, you've got 16 now, as opposed to you used to have 5. Yeah. 16 now, with a caveat that 6 of them can have as many years of service as you want, rather than how it used to be where you had to have 2 years of service or less. That's a big, big difference. So really, you're putting together, you got 53 plus 16, which takes that 90 number down quite a bit.
The Mac attack from Coach Mack on Blaine and Mickey. Coach, last preseason game on Friday. We'll be listening to you and the crew Friday night right here on the Zone, and can't wait. And then we can have a big discussion about it same time next week.
Guys, you know how much I love talking ball with you, and thanks for bringing up a memory on that kicker to me when I was sweating bullets on the sideline as the head coach. I always appreciate you guys putting me on the spot like that.
Anytime we can have story time, we will.
Yeah,
thank you, Coach.
See you guys.
All right.
Thanks. See you.
Speaking of kickers, how many kickers have kicked for this team since 2018? I will tell you next. You will not believe this. That's next. You won't believe it.
I told you.
I know.
For many of you who have lived here a long time, you already know Eurofix has been in Middle Tennessee area for your European car repair needs now for 24 years. And we've all gotten to watch them grow. And I don't know about you, but I love watching a hometown business take off. Well, we're now proud to announce the 5th location in Mount Juliet for Eurofix on Mount Juliet Road, right across the street from Dairy Queen. And Eurofix can serve you in Franklin, Hundred Oaks, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and now Mount Juliet. Pretty cool getting to watch a small-town mechanic starting in the barn in his backyard of a single-wide trailer and now grow to 5 locations repairing thousands of cars each month. And at Eurofix, you get a 3-year nationwide warranty and a free loaner car with every repair appointment. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can just visit them online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com. But always tell them Blaine to
Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up a Tuesday here, and then we'll hand the baton. It's like a race. We'll hand the baton to 3HL next, and they'll finish racing through the day for you.
Yep, they anchor leg. Are they? Are they the anchor or are they the third leg?
No, that's the anchor leg.
Yeah,
You bring it home. You bring it on home. They'll be in the building. Post
Literally
Malone.
in the
I
building.
think the first Post Malone bump music we ever had. If my daughter's listening, this is her dude, man. She likes Post Malone.
Yeah.
You big Post Malone guy?
Yep, I'm post everything.
I like Post cereals.
I'm post kicker. I'm post anyhow.
Okay, you want to hear something? So we were trying to figure out how many kickers have been through here recently.
Yeah, that's where we started to show off because I was like, it starts saying it's them, but then you start saying, that finger go back at me.
Okay.
It's that, I can't make the kick swarm. Well, how about how you handling the kickers?
This is pretty wild.
Not good.
This is a kickers 2018 to present time now for the
To the point
Titans.
we couldn't even name. Like, who was the kicker in 2019?
We couldn't keep up with it.
We say the mayor.
So in 2018, the kicker for this team was Ryan Suckup.
Oh, I just knew we were in a great
It was
spot.
a magical time. Remember that?
Then he showed up injured from I don't know how.
So then 2019, the kickers were Ryan Suckup, Cairo Santos, Cody Parkey.
Santos is at Bears.
Yeah. Greg Joseph established his dominance here briefly. And then,
Dominance. I used to have dominance briefly.
because he said in his, I'm not here
Oxymoron,
to
what are
establish
you
my
talking about?
dominance or anything. Remember, he was dead serious. We were on 3HL and we were listening. He's like, what is this guy talking about? He's like, I'm not here to establish my dominance or anything. I'm just here to be Greg Joseph. And then we just talked about it endlessly, and he heard us talk about it, and
He
it upset
Josephed
him.
himself out.
Yeah, he's establishing his dominance in Minnesota now. And Ryan Santoso, who was a kind of a bigger fella for a kicker,
But he had a big toe.
he never kicked a field goal. He was the kickoff specialist who couldn't kick. He didn't kick it to the end zone like hardly ever.
I think that we outsmarted ourselves on that one. Well, we'll just get one who can just kick it out of the end zone.
That's 5 guys who kicked for this team in 2019.
Crickets.
2020 was Goskowski and Sam Sloman, Titans legend Sam Sloman, who hit the kick that
Sam
beat the
Sloman.
Texans, that launched them into the division
Stratosphere.
championship. Yep. He never played again. He never played again.
We show no
If you're him,
loyalty.
you're like, what's left for me?
Oh, my.
100%.
At this rate, man, I just want to go get a kicker off of YouTube.
In 2021, it was Bullock and Badgley. In 2022, it was Bullock, Shudak, and Josh Lambo. In 2023, there's not even been a game this year other than we talk about practice. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game the kickers love to kick in. We talking about practice.
The test is never done until you can see them in a game.
They've had 3 kickers this year, Shudak, Wolf, and Badgley, which I've combined Shudak and Wolf into a power couple, Woodak, because they're both gone. so Woodak, and now Badgley's back, and he had a rough day at the office today. Maybe it was more humid here than wherever he came from. Man.
Oh, he said there was no excuses.
Well,
So he set himself up to get fired. He didn't even back himself. He should have said, well, hey, I just got off the plane, but, hey, I got to make them.
So suck up. Okay, because some of them doubled, but if you just include everybody who was the kicker, even if they were they doubled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16 kickers since 2018.
And some are the same people, but they came back again.
Oh, no. Okay, don't double
So,
down on
so
it.
that's 16 minus 1 suck up and minus 1 Badgley, right? So that's 14.
Dang.
And Bullock was 2 years, so 13 guys for 16 different spots since 2018. Because Bullock had a couple of different years. So 13 guys in 16 spots have kicked for this team. And we ain't even gotten to it's not even the season yet. And 3 people have already been the kicker.
Man, I told you this was going to be a problem. I knew it was. I said, how you going to go into the season with 2 young kickers? You don't even. Oh, no. You got to have a veteran and a young guy. You just got, yeah.
It's not even the
I would hire a
season.
kicking coach. I wouldn't even talk to the
Brent
kickers.
knows James Wilhoit. Brent's hanging out here. You
Dude,
got James
I would
Wilhoit's
hire
number?
Will Hoyt tomorrow and say, you pick the kicker, and when the kicker misses, I'm coming over and I'm MFing you. Because I cannot MF the kicker. I cannot talk to the kicker because I mess him up. I mess him up like, hey, man, you pulling. He's like, I didn't pull nothing. No, I didn't say a hamstring. I said, you pulled the ball. Like, you got to make it. You can't do it. He's not the linebacker. He's not the guard. You can't talk to the kickers like that, man. It's just hard. You just got to be like, hey, you got to get it next time. Gonna need him. You may need him at the end of the game. So, man, I just think they're really fragile guys. It's actually the caller was one of the callers. It's just like being a golfer. Yeah, you can mess up their psyche real quick. They overthink everything anyway. So then that's what happens to the kickers. That's why golf and kicking relates. They're partners in this deal. You cannot mess with the mental psyche of the kicker. I would not be. I think they just be like, hey, man, you missed. You got to make it next time. Huh? Really? Duh. Dude, you got to have that right kicker, have that right mental makeup and say, oh, okay, sure, coach, I got you. You can't even be joking. Why are you walking out there? Hey, make sure we make them all today. Nuh-uh. Do not do that. Say, have a great day, buddy. See ya. He runs off the field, he misses. High five him and say, hey, we get him next time. In your mind, you're going, where's that coach at that I'm about to MF right now? Dude, because you cannot talk to that guy like that. You will screw them up.
We're going to script through HL if we don't leave, and they'll be MFing us.
Yeah, well, they do that all the time. Anyway.
So there you go.
Got on lady. What y'all doing? Get out of here, Blaine.
There is your kicker contract.
Yeah, they all said they can all kick, so they are available. Only for a kicking contest. I will put watch this. Who would you put your money on? Slay, Don Juan, Babs, or Brent the Mayor? Who you putting your money on before we go? Since we're already late, Jackson. Quickly, Mickey. Don't think.
Don Babs Davenport.
Oh, there we go. Don is winner.
Former college athlete. Babs Davenport.
I don't know. Brent is the better golfer. I'm going with the Mayor.
And Brent has baseball news that would be very interesting to you if you like baseball. So stick around next. Potential team for Nashville. We got to go.
But in the meantime.
In between time. Peace.